Hello and welcome back to another tier list video. So a little while ago, about a week or so, I did a poll asking if people would like to see another tier list and also how they would like to see it, what format they would like to see it. And people said species. So if you voted in that poll, thank you very much. Even those who said they didn't want to see one, thank you very much for your opinion. Honestly, I'd have been happy if people didn't want to see one, but the majority of people did. And so I'll be doing it in species, which probably benefits those who don't want to see it, because that way they should only be I'm aiming for about 15 to 20 minutes long each episode, and I'll be using them as a filler between my regular videos, so there shouldn't be too much to wait between my regular videos. I'm just kind of trying to slot them in between, so it's like an extra piece of footage, an extra piece of video for you guys to watch between my regular ones. So I'm sorry that I can't seem to talk today. That doesn't help considering most of this is going to be talking. But I plan on doing alligator, anteater and bear, because some of these species only have a few. And so I don't really want to do a 5-minute long episode. Yeah, I want to do at least 15 to 20 minutes, because my regular ones are normally about 45 minutes, sometimes close to an hour. And so it's just a little tidbit for you. That way I'm not going to be doing, I don't know how many species is there, something like 32, 34 separate episodes, because that would be quite a lot. So anyway, let's get into it. So I have a list of the names in front of me, just in case I blank. First off is Alfonso, and now I must say S tier I feel like is mostly going to be blank. I'm not going to be too generous with my S tiers, because I know I could easily fill it up if I'm not too careful, and I want to put only my favourite, the top of the top in my opinion, up there. So Alfonso, this might seem a bit harsh, but in light of that, I'm not going to put too many in here. I'm going to try and keep it relatively like tight. And so Alfonso's going to go in C. D is going to be, some of my least favourite. I can't say Alfonso is one of my least favourite, but I wouldn't say he's one of my average favourites, and certainly not one of my, special or supers. So he's going to go there. Next up is Ali. And I think I probably like her one of the least, if not the least. So unfortunately she's also going to go in C, but behind him. I will be moving them in terms of how much I like them. So we're going to have some high B's, low B's, some high C's and some low C's, etc, etc. So Boots is probably one of my favourite alligators. I had him on one of my islands, and I think he was my starter. I think he's Jock. And apart from his little jester get up, I have really enjoyed having him on my island. I thought he was really cute. I know you can give him extra clothes for him to cover up that jester outfit, but for me he kept on putting it on, so he doesn't get any higher because of that. But honestly, his actual design is really cute. And here we have Del. I think he's nice. He's nice enough. I've not had him, but I do like how his design is based on a I believe it's like a warship or submarine or something like that. I think I have looked it up before and I've forgotten, so I'm gonna put him here. So I do like him more than Ali, but I don't like him as much as Alfonso, because I think Alfonso has a much friendlier face, and he does look a little bit sad, but Del just looks a little bit angry. So yeah. Okay, and next up we have Drago. He is a dragon alligator, and because of that I definitely feel like he deserves to be in B. But to be honest, he is nice as unique, but I don't like him as much as Boots. I think he's nice. I like the idea. I think he would suit quite a few different island types, especially if you're doing, at the moment I have a couple polls up, what type of islands, and if I was to have a witch court island, maybe a dragon would be kind of cool for my enchanted forest. So potentially that would be nice, but yeah, for now he's gonna go there. And next up is Gale, and she's definitely one of my favourites. I really do like Gale. She's really cute. I have had her before, and honestly, does she deserve to go in A? I'm not sure. I think maybe a high B. I think so. I really do like her. I like her design, but you know what? I wish she was peppy. I really do. I think she'd be so good as a peppy girl alligator. I don't think we have one. I could be wrong. She definitely is my favourite of the alligators. I'm realising now we only have 2 girls. That's not a lot. We definitely need more. And in light of that, you know what? I think a low A. I mean, I can't really represent that right now. But yeah, I didn't realise we only had 2 girls. So that kind of puts her worth up a little bit more to me. So next up is Roswell. And as much as my partner loves Roswell, I'm not that thrilled by him. I would probably put him in C and probably behind Alfonso. I do like his design. He's a good 2.0. I think his actual overall look is really good. I just don't like how his eyes spin. So if you've never seen it before, his eyes you would expect to open and close up and down, but instead they actually spin around in his sockets like screws, instead of just opening and closing like eyelids. So yeah, that bothers me a little bit, and I'm not too into it, so sorry out there. I don't mean to offend you or anyone, but there we go. He's not my favourite. And the last of the alligators is Sly, and he's okay, but I can't say I like him any more than maybe Del. So maybe between these two, I feel between Del and Ali. And if I'm going to be honest, Sly is one of these characters, I don't know if on camera, but certainly when I've been villager hunting by myself, he just keeps turning up. He's definitely one of my worst offenders of being a duplicate. So because of that, I am a bit tired of seeing him. It can be a bit harsh, and I'm sorry if it's very happenstantial that he's one of my least favourite alligators because of that. But there we go. This is my alligator list. And now we're going to move on to Anteater. So, Anteaters, am I going to remember their names? Probably not, which is why I've got my list in front of me. First up is Annabelle. She is really cute for a female anteater, and probably the cutest female anteater. So I'm definitely going to put her in the Bs, and maybe even slightly above Draco, because she just is really cute. I like how she kind of looks like a Sandshrew from Pokemon, and yeah, I like her design, so she's going to go there. So next is Annalisa, so the other Anna, and I do tend to get their names mixed up. I think she's okay, but I don't like her as much as I do like Annabelle, and maybe a C, and maybe not as much as I like Roswell. She's okay. It's just there's not much going on. She's not I don't know, she's not very colourful. It's a very plain design, but also a bit too plain. It's hard to say what I don't like about her, but yeah, she's certainly not, she doesn't stand out enough to me, I'd say. Okay, and next is Antonio, and I do think he's probably the best anteater. So in light of that, I'm gonna put him, I think just ahead of Boots. I've not had him, but I would like him. I think he's just a nice looking design. I think if I was to have an anteater, I would definitely want Antonio. And if I was to do my species roulette, I would really hope to get him. I just haven't given him a chance, and I think he deserves a chance, so I'm going to put him as an upper B for now. So next up is Cyrano, and I'm not too into him, not enough to put him in D, but I feel like maybe between these two guys, I don't know, I do like his colour scheme, and his fat eyebrow, and his freckles, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm not too into it, even though I said I like those features. Yeah, he's a very unique design, but I don't think he's as good as the Battleship, or as good as Annalisa here. So that's where he's going to go. I've just got a pop-up, this is going to be annoying. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, sorry about that. So next on my list is Olaf, and I think some people really like Olaf, but I'm not one of those people. I think he's a smug. I might be wrong. Is he the matador? And I'm not really into matadors. I don't really like the ethics behind it. I mean, that I think is a separate point, because to be honest, it's this sort of hair flop that I'm not really into. Honestly, don't like him. Like, I think there. So I feel like I'm being a bit harsh on Ali and Sly there, but yeah, I do definitely like him less than Cyrano. So next up is Pango, and I like Pango. I've never had her, but I do like her colour scheme, and I think she's simple and in a nice way. I don't think she's as good as Annabelle. I had to make sure that was the right Anna. So I'm going to put her between Alfonso and Roswell here. So definitely a reason why I need this list. This is Snooty, and I always forget her name. I just don't really remember her. She's okay. She seems fine. She must be Snooty, or I would hope so. If she's not, I'd be very angry. But yeah, I think I like her maybe even less, to be honest, than Annalisa. Maybe even less than Dell. Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't, say it's the same as Cyrano. There is a gap here between these two. But yeah, it probably doesn't help that I don't ever remember her, and so that's probably my bad. So yeah, unfortunately, that's where she goes in my list. And finally we have Zoe. So Zoe is a 2.0, and I think she's really nicely designed. I like her eye, I like her colours. I think she's very appealing, and to be honest, she probably would have gone up here. Emphasis on would have, because I only recently noticed in one of my villager hunts that she has buttons on her body. So if you look right here, you can see there's a button on her body, and she has like a button up front, but it's like on her skin, and I'm really not into that. I don't really know what's going on. It's like, can it come off? Is she taking off like her front or her back? I don't know what's underneath there, and that concerns me. Overall, she's still nice, but she's a little bit concerning, and so yeah, I would say probably a B now, and maybe even a low B, because what's with that? I don't know, and I don't care to know. Okay, and now moving on to the final group, which is bears. So hopefully I'll get all of their names. There's quite a few of them. The first up is Beardo, and this is going to be an easy one for me. Very low C. I wouldn't be too upset if he ended up on my island, but I wouldn't be impressed either. He's not the worst. The worst is coming. So yeah, very low C. Certainly the worst of all the ones I've seen today. I just don't like his sort of his hair, what's going on with all his facial hair, his actual hair, his body hair. No, it's not necessary. Next up is Charlize, and there's nothing wrong with her, but I don't really like this green colour they've gone with. It's very I wouldn't say sickly, or would I say sickly? It's just very neon maybe, and because of that I think she deserves to go around there. I actually prefer Cyrano. Yeah, I don't know why, but she's just not very appealing to me, and unfortunately that's where she's going. I just don't know much about her, and I've never had her. I don't know what personality she is, and so she probably is undeservingly that low on my list. So next up is Chow, and I'm very unapologetically going to put him in D. I'm not sorry, I don't like him. It's the teeth, it's the eyes. He has had a glow up. He looks much better than he did in New Leaf, I'll give you that, but I still don't want him anywhere near me or my island. He's just a little bit scary and I'm not into it. So Kurt, I think he's okay. I've not had him. I imagine he's either a jock or a cranky, but I couldn't tell you which. I don't even think I've seen him on an island. I'm not actually sure. I feel like he's going to be in C, and maybe just above Cyrano. I don't really know much about him, but character design wise he's not the worst. So next up is Grizzly, and I think he's quite nice. I would say maybe even, yeah, about here. So he's okay. I haven't had him, but I would. and I wouldn't be upset for him to be on my island. So yeah, definitely a higher C. That's not too bad. And this is Groucho. I haven't had him, but I'm not a big fan of his mouth shape, and I believe he's probably a cranky. I think Grizzly's a cranky too, and I think Grizzly is probably the superior cranky, so I think I'm going to put him probably there. Yeah, probably there. I don't like him nearly as much as Grizzly or Kurt here, so that's where he's going to go. And yeah, next up is Ike, and I have mixed feelings about Ike, because before I probably didn't have much to say about him, but now I know he has a son. I think his son's name is Poco, if I'm remembering correctly. I am just trying to, remember. So I don't actually know if that's right. Yeah, I actually kind of like him a bit more. So he's gonna go right behind Grizzly there. Yeah, I hope he gets reunited with his son soon. So Klaus, I unfortunately did get Klaus on one of my islands as my smug, and I was not too happy because he just wouldn't leave. And because of that, I wasn't very impressed at all. So I will put him in D, but he's not going to be a low D. I think he's probably going to be a higher D, and eventually we'll put some space between him and Chow, but for now he's going to be there. And this might be my own personal beef, but yep, there he goes. And next up is Megan, and I feel bad for Megan because she was a 2.0, and I feel like she was completely overshadowed by all of the other 2.0s, that she completely got kind of overlooked, and I don't think there's anything wrong with her. If anything, I think it's one of those problems where there's too many good normals in the normal section, and so a lot of the other normals that just aren't as good get easily overlooked, and they just don't get their time in the spotlight, and I think that's such a shame. So for me, in light of that, I'm actually going to put her as a low B, because I would like to see more of Megan, and she probably would have suited my my island theme really well, but I can't easily part with either Lily or Sky, because I just think they are better. And it is actually kind of a shame, because there's nothing wrong with Megan. She kind of has this Care Bear look to her. It is very cutesy, but yeah, I feel like she should get a little bit more love. And honestly, this is my little insight here, but I would love it if they were to give a couple more personality types to the game, and I think Shy would be a fantastic girl personality, because that would go really well with the normal look. You could almost cut the normals in half and re-personality type half of the normals as Shy, and just have them as very bashful, very embarrassed. They talk about their embarrassing stories. They don't talk very much perhaps at first, and eventually they'd start to open up a little bit more. I think it'd be really cute. And yeah, I think Shy would be a fantastic girl personality, and it would suit Megan really well. Okay, next up is Nate, and I actually quite like Nate. I don't know if he's very popular, but I actually really like him. I like how he's kind of he kind of has a little bit of a grumpy look to him, even though he's a lazy. And I actually think I'm going to put him above Grizzly, so that puts him very high up as my bears, but I think he's really cute. He's not the best bear, but I do like his colour scheme, and even though he's got the one eyebrow, and I don't normally like that, I think it kind of works, he works it. So next up is Paula, and I've never had Paula. I think she's one of those ones again, like Megan, she kind of falls behind because she's a normal. She kind of has this hippie look to her, and I'm not super into that, if I'm going to be honest, but she's not the worst. So I'm going to put her, I think, maybe below these guys, maybe behind Dell. Okay, maybe behind Snooty as well. I feel like I've just never really considered her. I do know of her existence more than Snooty, and so that means that I kind of feel like she belongs behind Snooty, because I still don't like her that much, even though I at least know that she exists and remember her name. But yeah, Paula, I'm just not as impressed. So up next is Pinky. I have had Pinky, and I think she's quite cute. I quite like her. Do I like her more than Nate? I'm not sure. Maybe. Maybe, yeah, I think I do. I I think she's really cute. I do like her sort of like panda aesthetic, like a pink panda. And also her little hair looks kind of like drawn on, but that's kind of cute in itself. I know that she's sort of like very pink and white, but you know, that fits my aesthetic, so yeah, that's where she's gonna go. So finally here we have Teddy, and I've been waiting for Teddy because he's my favourite bear, and so I'm gonna put him right at the top here. Yes, even more than Gale. He's a drop, and he's definitely one of my favourites. I left him behind on an island on one of my villager hunts, and it actually hurt me because I really wanted to bring him home. He's so cute, I love him and his face, and that's probably why I ended up with Murphy, because they have a very similar looking face. But we'll get to Murphy at another time because today we're just doing the Alligators, Anteaters and Bears. So next up is Tutu, and I don't think she's as good as Megan or as good as Pinky, but perhaps she is slightly better than Paula. So where am I going to put her? I think I will put her here. So just below Dell, but just above Snooty there, and I almost forgot her name. Yeah, I think she's a very plain design, but I really wish her eyes were just a little bit more emotive. I think the eyes being just like little plain dots is a bit of a shame, because if they'd been a bit bigger and a bit cuter, she would have looked fantastic. So yeah, it's just a bit of a shame they didn't try a little bit harder with her design. And next up is Ursula. I have had Ursula before. I believe she's a sisterly character, so I think I started with her. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong down below. But the only thing I don't really like about her is one of the things I don't like about her, is her very straight haircut doesn't really help her sort of like cute aesthetic. But her colour is a very sort of dirty pink. I don't know how else to describe it. I actually think Chow is a better pink than Ursula, although looking they're very similar. So, but it's just slightly too dark. I just don't really like it. I wasn't a big fan of her because she really didn't want to move as well. So I think she deserves to be just below Charlize. Excuse me, Antonio. Just below Charlize, so the two of them can be together. Maybe you prefer them the other way around, but honestly, yeah, I feel pretty happy with that as my list for today. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's not too long. I'm hoping it will be somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes long if I'm lucky. And all of my videos will be roughly around there, so that they can be between those like longer episodes. So if you took part in that poll, once again, thank you very much. It really helped me to decide how I was going to do this, and I hope you don't mind I'm grouping them together, just so that some of the smaller groups, you know, aren't like completely outweighed by the very long ones. I believe there's quite a few cats, maybe there's quite a few dogs, but there's not many of like certainly octopus. I believe there's only like 10 eagles. There are probably other groups that I'm not even aware of that are very small. So yeah, I'm hoping to group them together, hopefully alphabetically, because that'll make this much easier. And then next time I'll continue with birds, and I'll be also doing this way of putting them roughly where I would prefer them, with my favourite being, you know, on the left, and my least favourite being on the bottom right. So hopefully that made sense to you. I'm sorry for saying hopefully so much. I'm really grateful for all you guys. There's quite a few more subscribers, and certainly more than I ever expected, so thank you so much. I really appreciate you. So hopefully you'll join me for the next one. Cheers and goodbye. So remember, MumsyWord, goodbye.